Sony color science was invented in a crab factory. The current president's grandfather walked in and saw all these crabs and was like, I like those crabs. Look at the colors of this. What's that green seaweed they're chewing? What if we mixed the oversaturated reds with a green hue? People would love our cameras. We don't.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Sony ZV-E1 with a Series 85mm 1.4, black pro mist, quarter mist, engaged. Standard color science. This is Sony. I'm not touching it. This is straight out of camera. I've tweaked some things, saturation down a bit, contrast up. Just, this is it. This is Sony. This is what they want you to think. And it's not terrible. It's actually pretty good. The dynamic range is a little lower than it should be in your S-Log. Everybody loves their S-Log, and now your lights aren't clipping. But I just made a video on my Fuji, and I used a bunch of different color profiles, and I was cycling between them, and that is a decent one. I don't know which one I'm going to choose. And there it is, side by side, Fuji versus Sony. Fuji's just a little better usually. There's something about Sony color science, and we're going to dive deep today into it. Talk a little bit about grading, but mostly about in-camera, what the hell is going on with the pixels and RGB loser shit. It's so annoying. Sony just seems a bit warm, maybe, but not in a pleasing Canon way, where it's like, I like the warmer image. Sony is a blanket of warmth that's like, why is it so warm? Like, you're questioning it. It's not like, that's a pleasant warmth. And the white balance, if you get it wrong in camera, which I likely did, you're done. You're done for. And then when you switch between like Cinetone, S-Log 3, or standard, with the same white balance, very different white balance in the end. Why? A sensor is guessing. It's not real. What you think I'm a real boy in his living room. It's an interpretation of what I'm doing. It's a guess at best. And then like all these algorithms to get what red is the perfect red. Is that the red I see? That looks more orange in the screen. So you're lying to yourself. This is cheating. There's like the debate, photographers, oh, you photoshopped your photo. That's cheating. Just taking a picture is cheating. You should be arrested. It's not real. The real thing is just taking people to the place where you would have taken the photo. Why don't you do that, asshole? Bring them all there. Like, here's the thing I was going to take a picture of. What do you guys think? No one will like you. Some will die on the way. When I upgraded from the A7S III to this ZV-E1, I thought what I was seeing was better color science. And it was. It is better than the A7S III. But that doesn't mean it's better than anything else. But sometimes it's respectable. It gets you in the ballpark, and sometimes you're like, not bad, Sony. It's usually not, but like I'm somewhat okay with it. Where I go wrong is trying to grade S-Log 3 and even attempting to look at S-Cinetone. I'm about to, against my will, switch to S-Cinetone and watch how different, straight out of camera, but the colors shift. Now, what just happened? Why did it happen is the real question. We're in S-Cinetone now. My face just went from orange pleasy glow to what the hell is wrong with him? A disease? A bad night's sleep? Something happened. I got redder, more real. And this is their cinematic, filmic profile, which I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it. I've never filmed myself in S-Cinetone and thought, damn, I look good. Every time. I'm just like, why? What is this? There was a time I actually took a video, held this color chart up with the Canon camera, and then S-Cinetone, and then I went into my Sony camera, and there's this thing where you can like raise the reds, lower the reds. Every color you can raise or lower. And I was doing that until the charts lined up with Canon's. And it was so off, it wasn't even close. So that's obviously not how you do it. Asshole, Sony. I might try that again one day with the C70, but there's so much you don't know. Like when you're looking at that chart and you have log, I was like, I don't know which node it should be on before the LUT. Like there's so much that I don't know about DaVinci. If I would just sit down and read the manual, we'd be done. We'd be like, oh, this is why this looks bad. I was getting a bunch of comments from this one guy who was like, you're not even in DaVinci wide color gamut. I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. So I looked and I was like, okay, switch this over to this. And there was a warning that was like, yeah, none of these settings are going to change because your timeline settings override them. I'm like, that's great. Where's the timeline settings? I don't even know where the timeline settings are. There's a balance to be had of knowledge gained yourself versus just following other people who put in that bullshit work that you don't want to do, and then learning enough from what they've done and then applying their knowledge to your workflow. So that's where I sit. I like to watch tutorials and they explain things, and sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But it's enough to make something respectable. So let's switch into log, S-Log3, and then we'll make some tweaks. Okay, now we're in S-Log3, and this is my typical grade that I thought looked okay, but every time I see it now, I'm like, what the hell did I even do? I start making tweaks, and then I don't even see where I went wrong. So like, here's a node that I'm gonna remove now that I was like, why is my hair so red? Why is the blacks red? That's one thing I hate more than anything in Sony. It's these red blacks for no reason. And so like I tweaked a little wheel, I made it blue. And I was like, hey, look at me. And so like, and then there was another thing where I like drew a line on my face, highlighted the skin tones, and I was like, okay, getting it right on that skin tone chart line thing. And it's usually too red. So I'm like bringing it to yellow. That doesn't look right. Whoa, that's green. Okay, I shouldn't have to do this. I'm not Cam Mackey over here making love in my theater here. He knows what he's seeing. He's like, oh yeah, you want the blues and the shadows, but some green as well, and highlight the tints, and just don't change it this way. Don't use this slider to do. He knows what he's doing. He loves this. He has a Western flair. I'm a Canadian loser. I grew up on hot dogs. I don't know what the hell to do with my life. So like, I want his results. You think I don't want some like fun? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for this stylus grade, but this is what I end up with. Real style. Jealous much? All your knowledge has been debunked. So going back to my regular grade, let us now switch over to Nikon LUTs. Color space transform to Nikon log, and then red LUTs on a Sony. Boom. I did this once in my 3D pop tutorial. I was comparing a Nikon to Sony, and I did this process, although I might have messed up the Rec 2020 part. I don't think I clicked that. I clicked Rec 709 because I'm used to that, but N-Log is Rec 2020, and these little minor things that shouldn't matter, they're still Rec. It's all Wreck Your Mom. I have Nikon color science now, and I am respected. But does it look like a Nikon? I just filmed on a Nikon not long ago. I have these options, and as we're seeing, probably not. Probably something went wrong, didn't it? I don't know what to do. I hate not knowing what to do. And Sony, I hate you. Do you know that this little tiny ZVE1 destroys anything I have or you have? There's no way, if I knew how to color grade, I'd just do a little side-by-side with you. I meet you on your turf. We get the footage. I come back. I win. You cry. That's what happens for less money in my pocket. And that gets put into Bitcoin, and then that just multiplies. We've seen it. ZVE1 is perfect. The best slow-mo, the best autofocus. It never loses me. I was walking. I was like 300 feet away from that camera testing this lens, and I was like, it still had me. Not 1 second of that whole thing was out of focus. You have class-leading dynamic range. Everything about you, I'm so used to. I actually know how to expose somewhat. There is a tiny zebra on my head. I lean too close. But like, I know Sony the best. This is all I need. It's way overkill for even what I need. All I need is a ZVE 10. Mark II. Come on, give me the Mark II at least. But like, I like full frame. I like this. It's better than my C70 sometimes just because it's full frame. Destroys the Nikon in a lot of ways. Better than Fuji in most. But if I could just make crayons exist in my heart, I would know true love. I just switched to Phantom LUTs. Someone gave me A7S III Phantom LUTs, and now we have that, and it's disgusting, and oops, they don't work on the ZVE1. You have to buy more Phantom LUTs for your new, oh wow. I've never had good success with Phantom LUTs on my A7S III, following all their advice, like everything's perfect, and then no, it's still Sony color science, and there's something about it. I don't know what it is, because I don't have a calibrated monitor, and I don't know what I'm looking at to see it. Nor should I have to. That's why I love Canon. You slap on their official LUT, and you're done. It's not the most accurate, but it's like a decent skin tone. It's like, not bad. Fuji, either straight out of camera with the film sims, or going to their F-Log 2C, it's like, that looks really nice. Wow. Most cameras are just good. Who the hell is running Sony? Technically, if we're being technical, none of this matters. Not 1 second is anyone focusing on how red or orange your skin is and where it leans in that scale. They just want you to do something, provide some sort of value, whether entertainment or information. Give me something. Don't make me waste my time. It shouldn't matter. But like, I compare gear a lot, and then I see it and it's right in front of my face. I'm like, why does that look, which one is real? And then I don't even know how I look, because I've only seen myself in mirrors in tungsten light bulbs. What if that's not the truth? I have to go outside with a mirror and hold it up against the sun, and then it'll reflect back, and then I'm blind, and then a rat will chase me. But it's a weird thing, all these different colors and hues and differences and shades, and like what's real or what's preferred. All these movies look very different, and sometimes a green face is what they went for. It had to be. It was cold and sterile and evil. I'm not trying to be an evil villain here. It just should be happy and warm and fun. That's what I'm going for, and I don't want to think about it. So that's why I love Fuji and Canon and Nikon. Even though my Sony is much better in every way, basically, and I don't need any of them, I could totally read the DaVinci manual, take a couple courses, and then learn color grading more and more until I perfect it. And then what would that give us? Just me obsessing more about it. And then I would feel pressure because I know all this stuff now and I better have the best look. That's never been what my channel's about. I shouldn't need any of this stuff. And I think that would be a waste of time learning it all. I just want a camera to do it. You slap on a LUT and you run, and then you focus on making actual content, not like this, you're rambling in a living room. There's a lot more important stuff to be focusing on rather than color grading. No one cares. Like, good audio is way better. My super loud computer right now, and then I'm like removing it with DaVinci voice isolation. I sound like a tin man, and it's bullshit. Honestly though, I have fun doing this kind of stuff, just comparing and laughing at my own ineptitude. I don't even mind it. Just like super sharpening. I never see anybody doing this to their face. I love doing it. Or just something weird, and it's just like, oh, that's fun. That's a different look. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. So let me know the best LUTs down below that are free, of course. Stupid. I just use official C-Log 2 to Canon LUT that's in DaVinci Resolve already. I use Fuji's official LUT when I'm doing F-Log 2C. On Sony, I've found that's not good. The official LUT, this is the official LUT in DaVinci. It's like, okay, yeah, right. So like, I do all kinds of different experiments on Sony and Nikon, very easy, just the red LUTs, boom. I hate you, Sony, but love you nonetheless. And then will they perfect it? They've gotten much better over the years. And then sometimes I think I prefer the Sony image over Canon. What the hell? But like, not in my own videos for some reason. I don't know how to do it. So tell me how to do it for free, of course. Go to work, give me your knowledge, and I will use your knowledge against you after you donate Bitcoin and buy a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt. Fuji Assassin shirts are available in the shop. I'll leave now. Subscribe for more videos,